Welcome back, everybody, to Insomnia63 with Nintendo UK Versus. My name is Bowie Alexander, and I'm joined again, of course, by the lovely Alicia Judge. Hello.
Thank you very much. Hello, guys. How's it going?
We have been playing throughout the day a bunch of fantastic Splatoon 2 tournament matches to get through to this, our top 4. Today is Saturday, so it's been all about the Splatoon 2 action. It is the Octo League, and we shall be crowning one of our team's champion, and they will be invited to the Splatoon 2 UK National Championships later on this year in November. So a lot is on the line for our Splatoon 2.
Totally. And if you guys have been tuning in with all of our other Nintendo UK Versus live events we've had, there have been so many teams that have made it through already. So I'm excited to see who's going to be going back up against them from today.
I think today, in terms of teams that we have, and I think one thing we should really talk about now and get it out of the way is Team Marco, because we know they were last year's 2017's UK Championships, beating out Team Who and 4D to get to that very prestigious title, and they're playing today and going to be making their way back, hopefully making their way back, if they can get that victory, to this year's championships. There's a lot to be played for, though. We have Sheldon's pick, Team Static, and So Far So Good going up against them. Two teams I know that are going to be vying in one of their matches is Sheldon's pick and Team Static.
Yes.
It's one that I think we need to look forward to, and we'll kind of break down in a little bit more detail when we get to it. But yeah, I mean, we were talking about there's been so many who have already qualified, I think like 4 or 5 so far.
Yeah.
Not only is it live events like this and LANs, but also we've had online tournaments too. We had one over the last weekend, and we had another team crowned, and then there will be some more coming up in the future before November.
It's making for a real stew of just really hearty, good Splatoon 2 players.
Of course,
so, well, they'll be good for November, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
The cold month, just tune in for a hearty, warming stew of really hot players.
Yeah. It's going to be really, really good, of course, and there's more
I don't know where I was going with that.
No, it's completely fine. It kind of worked. I knew what you were going with, so that's the most important thing.
You can tell we've just come back from a late lunch.
Yeah. And you know, we just need to let it all go. You know, just need to just let the food just digest,
Food's gone.
And go down, and just
gone.
So if you do want to find out more about Splatoon 2 in the coming months and about anything competitive for Nintendo in the UK, you want to follow on Twitter, first of all, at Nintendo UK Versus, this one right here. This is the one. Also follow this channel, naturally, on Twitch. And any other
YouTube,
things. YouTube, anything else, and Nintendo UK, they're just themselves on Twitter as well, and you'll get that's all the kind of information that you're going to need to find out about upcoming tournaments and events like that. Or if you just one day log into Twitch and there's a stream and there's a tournament, great. So yeah, make sure to follow those social channels and find us when we are doing more stuff. And then you may be on the very stage that our players are going to be playing on today. When it comes to the next tournament.
Who knows? Who knows? I mean, who do you think, Bowie, who's your money on? Having watched all of the players today, who's actually... Because this is the thing. We can know on paper who supposedly the better team is, but sometimes just on the day, there are some players that have, they're just on their A game, they're playing well, you know, they've had a good lunch. Who do we think is probably going to cinch it today?
I mean, looking at those 4 and knowing the pedigree in Team Marco, I think it's kind of like, you'd be taking a risk if you wouldn't be betting. Yeah. Don't.
No.
If you are kind of like, you know, putting your money where your mouth is going, I think this team's going to win. Team Marco would be a good shout. You know, when it came to last year, they are the champions. They had to beat Team Who and 4D, who, as we know, are incredible teams with fantastic players in them. You know, dedicated and have been working hard since Splatoon 1 and been bringing it through to this one. You know, to beat those 2 teams is no small feat. So of course, you know, you look at that and say these are the kind of teams they've beaten. But, you know, that was, you know, almost a year ago now. They're going to be better, yes, but what can other teams bring to the table? Now, Team Static made up of two sets of 2 from 2 teams in Northern Wales and Manchester, coming together to kind of form like a super team. So there's loads of exciting stuff. You know, they have a lot to prove, and so does Sheldon's pick, who, you know, are an incredible team and are looking for that final. So far, so good, I've seen less of, but they were very impressive in their pool, so we'll see what they can do against Team Marco. So with that in mind, I'm going to throw it over now to Nims and Mark on the main stage to welcome our players to their final. Nims, Mark, take it away.
All right, welcome back. For those of you guys who are watching at home, and if you've just joined us, hello and welcome to the Nintendo UK Versus main stage area. Who are you?
I'm Mark with a C, and who are you?
My name is Nims, and we've had quite a day today, Mark, haven't we?
It's been absolutely jam-packed with excitement.
It has. It's been amazing today. And we've had so many incredible players on the main stage, battling out earlier on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. But we're going to move on to our next segment, which I'm sure you guys watching at home and everybody in front of me know what's going to be happening next. So I'm going to ask a very simple question to the audience behind me, or in front of me even. Who's a fan of Splatoon 2? All right.
Alrighty.
Okay, guys. So all day today, Mark, we've had lots of Inklings and Octolings battling it out in our tournament zone area for this special tournament we're doing, of course, on what day?
Splat day.
Of course. And now we're going to get going with our semi-finalists on the stage, who are now going to battle it out to go into a grand final and win, of course, our Splatoon 2 tournament.
Ah.
Excellent stuff. So let's just get, I think we should just get going.
I'm ready.
Amazing.
Are you ready, Nims?
I am more than ready.
But also,
okay.
audience, are you ready?
All right. So, Mark, I am going to introduce the first team to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please go absolutely crazy for Sheldon's Pick. Where are you, Sheldon's Pick? Come to the stage. All right. Welcome, Sheldon's Pick. Okay. So, have a seat, have a seat, have a seat, and have a seat. So I should have Scotso. This is you. Epsilon. I should have also Kitsune. Scotso, Epsilon, Kitsune, and Reach. Yes? Excellent stuff.
Awesome.
All right, I'm going to get you guys to prepare yourselves. Mark, who are Sheldon's Pick going up against?
Well, I'd like to invite to the main stage, Team Static.
Welcome, Team Static!
Come on, guys.
Yes, guys, give them a round of applause and a cheer. Awesome.
Right, so in Team Static, we should have the Mole, Tekerai, Cyber GW, and Spid.
Alrighty. Okay. So, guys, as soon as you have taken a seat, get yourself set up. Dock in your console and get your squad ready. Okay. So, for those of you guys watching at home and for our lovely audience in front of us, these guys are going to be playing a best of 5 in a number of different modes, of course.
Indeed.
So we have Clam Blitz, Rainmaker, Turf War. I was hoping for you to jump in there. Hoping for you to jump in there. But of course, they're going to be playing a best of 5 and a variety of different matches. These guys are fully aware of exactly how everything's going to go down. Of course, these two teams will battle it out in a best of 5. We then have another set of 2 teams battling out in a best of 5. The 2 winning teams from each of these semi-finals will then go into a grand final, which of course, again, is a best of 5 of all modes. Yes, absolutely. So, you're going to go and check out your team. I'm going to go check out my team. So, how are we getting on here? Oh, okay, we suddenly have... Okay. We've accidentally pressed the wrong button over on this side. It's all right.
I thought these guys were meant to be professionals,
the Pearl and Marina news update. It's very important. Very important. So, if I ask you what weapon you use, you're going to tell me it's a secret and you don't want to tell me, do you?
I'm happy to see it.
What weapon do you use?
Range blaster.
He's a range blaster kind of guy.
Nims, you're giving away their strategy.
No. He said he's happy to let people know he's a range blaster kind of guy.
Fair enough.
That's fine. Scott, so what about you?
I'm a flex kind of guy, but I normally play Forge.
A Forge kind of guy? Okay. Interesting. You flex. Right, okay. Depending on what team. And does that vary across modes as well, of course? So, all right, we're getting straight into it on this side. Mark, what about your side? Have they unveiled any secrets?
Actually, let me go and ask the Mole. What will you be using today?
I don't know.
You don't know? Is it that you don't want to reveal your secrets, good sir?
Randomizer.
You want to go and pick the randomizer? Okay. Okay. Sure. I'll accept that.
Okay.
How are you guys feeling, though? Are you all confident? Are you all ready to go and take this home? Just a sure? Not a definitely? Ah, come on, guys. You've fought this far. You've come so far, and I know you can do this. I'm backing you guys. Nims, you can back your lot over there. I know these guys are going to go and take it home.
Okay, well, I think Sheldon's pick are pretty much good to go on this side. They've lifted up the armrests.
Oh, really?
They said,
we're full esports now, baby.
We don't want no armrests. We want full concentration, full control.
No relaxation.
Okay, speaking of control.
Hello.
The first mode these guys are battling on is going to be tower control. So, for those of you guys watching at home and for you guys in front of us, are you still with me? Amazing. So, tower control, Mark, the way it works, each of our teams will be placed on a map, and there will be a special tower in the middle of the map.
Right.
The idea is each of the teams must capture the tower, so jump onto the tower.
Okay.
And take that tower back to the other side of the map.
Ah, okay, okay.
Okay. So, I think we're good to go on both sides.
Almost good to go.
Okay, just as that person gets prepared, I'm now going to throw back our lovely viewers at home watching to the amazing Bowie and Alicia. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, Mark and Nims. Our two teams are set and ready to go. There was a bit more like just general kind of calmness from the side of Team Static, it seemed.
I always find it really interesting watching the players sit down because it gives a rough idea of play style. If you've got a team who sit down and they're quite communicative, they're kind of like, hey, so how's it going, like, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you have others who sit down and they're like, focused, done. Eyes on the prize.
That's all they need to do, yeah.
It's like they communicate telepathically.
You're going to have to at times, especially with some of the scenarios our players will be finding ourselves into. It will, as Nim said, be tower control on new Albacore Hotel. So we'll have to see how that goes for them. Then afterwards, they will be playing Rainmaker on Sturgeon Shipyard. In third?
Oh, in third, yes. Clam Blitz on Kelp Dome.
Should we see a fourth game, we will be going to Splat Zones for Walleye Warehouse.
And if it goes right down to the wire, we'll be doing tower control on Camp Triggerfish.
Which we've seen a lot of in the past. Camp Triggerfish and tower control was one of those really, really annoying ones because the tower tends to just move itself over open water, and that's really, really tricky. That's why. Yeah, thank you very much. Just got word in my ear. I like it. There we go. It is a good map. I agree with you, James, community manager. Thank you so much. It seems like our players are getting ready. One more to ready up on that main stage, and we'll be getting into our first game of the first semi-final of the Octo League here at Insomnia63.
But you're right, I hope that it goes down to Camp Triggerfish.
Yeah, I mean, we always like to see a best of 5 in a
absolutely,
game.
Especially one that's so intense.
Yeah.
But before all that,
let's get straight underway with Albacore Hotel, new Albacore Hotel. On the yellow side, we do have Sheldon's pick, and in the blue, it is going to be Team Static. As he said, Static are made up of 2 regions in the UK, the two of the strongest players from 2 of the strongest teams in those 2 regions. 2. Straight underway, getting over to that tower if they can. Sheldon's pick is having to maybe being pushed off the tower just a little bit. No one's taken it just yet.
I'm liking what Kitsune's doing at the side, kind of staying out of the fray, sniping from afar.
Yeah.
That all didn't quite work, but
Yeah, wanting to just, lay down some covering fire, holding onto that tower. Now that they've managed to get rid of some of their opponents, get onto the tower, take control, reset it to the center whilst they're trying to aggress onto their opponents now. Nice stuff there from Epsilon, getting Splat onto the mole.
Throwing a bomb and then moving away.
Yeah. Just trying to keep as much pressure in as many different spots as possible, and that's kind of like really what's the most important thing to do when you're working on things like tower control. It is a moving objective, so you have to be aware of all the locations around you at all times.
This is not a game for camping.
Absolutely not. Okay, so Tekarai on the tower, trying to pressurize, but a fantastic Splat coming out from, I believe, Kitsune from across the board.
Really hotly contested middle ground here. The towers moving back and forth between the teams.
And no one's really kind of pushed towards that first checkpoint. It's kind of one of those bits that you'll have this, especially with teams of this caliber, you'll have this kind of like back and forth, and then the dam will break. and the push will happen. So here we go. The first immediate push. 87, that'll do. Good start. The Stingray, though, from the Mole, from back in base, just covering that tower.
Sure. A really smart idea to keep it on the tower from afar, not be tempted to pick off any of the teammates, just to give the towers some cover fire.
Yeah, it just kind of keep, because if they jump onto it and then cover it, it's moving back all the while it cannot be challenged because the Stingray is there.
Exactly.
Okay. It has been reset to the central position.
Passed into Sheldon's pick.
Keep trying to push forward now. Epsilon just with this blaster, just trying to get a nice splat onto the Mole again. Epsilon seeming to be the bane of the Mole right now. Checkpoint 1 reached, and slowly the time is ticking down. Kitsune hanging on with that charger.
Ooh.
And Stingray again.
Lovely work.
That does get taken down eventually by Cyber, doing a very, very good job of just getting in there when he found that moment between the shots from the Stingray to get in and capitalize.
Oh, dodging that Stingray there. That was very nicely dodged.
Yeah, making sure to keep aware of the surroundings, but I say that. And the Splatoscope comes out, and down he goes. Tekarai resetting, and then starting to push in their favor. Nice shot against Scott, though, from Tekarai.
Nice. It's kind of how Tekarai is making sure to stay on the tower as much as possible, but not afraid to jump off and jump back on again if they need to.
That was a very, very, very nice shot again from that Splatoscope. It is a 3-1 Splat right now. Almost a team wipe for Static. You can see the tower once again slowly resetting itself. And there it is. Currently Sheldon's pick in the lead with 59-86. Distance units to go.
Tekarai in particular is really making full use of map movement, never stopping, moving around. Oh, but a splat there for Squid.
Yep. Scott, so just using a bit of the higher ground, just kind of lay down some covering fire, also using that just to gain some special gauge, throws out the bubble blower, and we'll use that just to kind of, as you can see, covering the tower as they go into the center, and they'll use that as they push forward. Those bubbles are just staying there. Being a consistent pressure. They're gone now, though. Yeah, waiting in, waiting until they have what they needed and then to push forward.
Oh, Team Static really putting on the pressure and, yeah, took the tower.
Yeah, you can see as well they've got their own of the bubble blower coming out with the Stingray just kind of lay down some covering fire. They're going to start pushing back. They're at the first checkpoint and they have to hold onto the tower now as the pressure's coming in. Nice double team. Epsilon getting splatted by the Mole.
We're saying...
Wow. The Mole holding on to Scotso there, and the lead taken by Team Static with 5 seconds on the clock. They're going to hold on to it, but then they'll take game 1 at this rate, and it's theirs.
Beautifully. Look at their faces. They're overjoyed.
Tekarai quite surprised they won that one.
Those eyebrows had made a rapid ascent into her hairline.
Yeah, just ding, straight up. On the other side, we do have Sheldon's pick a little bit.
Solemn faces.
Shell-shocked by that one there. They had the lead the entire time, and on that final push, Team Static take that first game. A close one, for sure. But,
it was interesting. I was interviewing earlier the Mole just after his game, and he has a technique before every match where he tries to literally dig the dirt on the player that he's going over against. And so I'm really intrigued to know whether he has been watching his opponent's matches, kind of seeing how they played throughout the day, and like feeding it back, because they're very, very tactical.
Yeah, and it's kind of important just to kind of at least, not maybe to immediately know how to counter it, but just to have an idea of what you might be coming up with. I think that's kind of a good starting point to going up against a new matchup.
Sure, that's the Mole there on the right hand side of the screen that you can see just now. The tactical man of the team.
Espionage king.
Exactly.
And then we have, well, for our second match, we're going to be going into Sturgeon Shipyard for Rainmaker. I like this combination personally. I think maybe it's just because I like Sturgeon Shipyard. I think it's a fun one. You know, it has that kind of the central bridge, which is going to be kind of like the main place to play. But it's got a lot of like, I think just movement options around. Like it has the bridges that kind of go up and down consistently, so you get a nice variety of height like levels and being able to kind of like use that and perhaps surprise your opponent when they're maybe not. If they're in the middle of focusing on something else, maybe not aware of like the actual map's layout, because it does change.
Totally. There's some really nice flanking opportunities that are built in there.
Yeah.
If you can get some height and drop down onto someone's head and get a really epic splat.
Surprise.
Exactly.
But yeah, they'll be getting that ready, which I believe they're jumping onto right now. So Sturgeon Shipyard, Rainmaker.
Let's
go for it. Make it rain, indeed. So again, in the yellow, we have Sheldon's pick, and in the purple, Static once again.
So
the colour lock. I love it.
A race to the middle.
Oh yes. The Rainmaker there. Obviously, you need to get into the centre as quickly as possible. Pop the shield, pop and go, I believe was the term. Interesting to see the blobobber coming out from Team Static. You can see those bubbles going in. Very, very powerful if every single part of that hits, but an interesting weapon to use.
Because it can be. You've got to be very accurate with it.
It has a nice set though, with the Ink Storm and also the Splash Ball as well. The saying that the Ink Storm is coming out now, so that'll be laying down some covering pressure as a whole. There it is, it's kind of like just dripping back into the opponent's half. And the Mole with the Rainmaker. Gets that with the AoE.
That was really nice kind of stealth play there.
Gets a nice jump over to the side. Great usage of the flanks here. The Mole pushing forward with the splash shield to keep him safe.
Oh!
But great usage of the suction bomb from Reach to get inside. Look at this flanking as well. Doesn't get anything, but does push them back.
And you can really see the moving map coming into play here, completely shaking up the field.
Yeah, just guarding them now, just saying, no, the Rainmaker's on our side.
Exactly.
You can't kind of come and get it, but it has been reset. That's an interesting play just to kind of hold the shield from breaking with that Stingray. Hold the shield down. Very nice stuff. Gave them a little bit of time to play. There's a 2-splat advantage on the side of Sheldon's pick now, and they're pushing onto the Rainmaker. Very nice play and setup from them.
Nice. Sheldon's pick has the Rainmaker and is pushing forward.
Reach in trouble there. A lot of pressure.
Ooh, did not get very far at all.
Yeah, Mole just had, I mean, obviously because you can see where the Rainmaker is, how Mole just had his number and just held that Stingray on him. So, trying to just keep a little bit of, turned around, but a little bit too late. Tekarai with that win in the 1v1.
Nice, great play from Tekarai there.
Goes underneath the bridge. We'll try and find their way back up.
But smart to do. Sometimes you need to know when to retreat.
Yeah. Overextension is never a good idea, really.
Yeah, no, exactly. In yoga or in Splatoon.
Wow. Can you imagine? Ouchie. So the Rainmaker is unshielded now. Scotso with a couple of splats there with his blobobber. Try saying that 10 times fast. Nice. Oh, unlucky. Just kind of got caught there on the scenery. Yeah, Tekarai just helping out though, helping Scotso out of that scenario. They get the splats they need, and they're just trying to push their opponents back so they have a free reign on the Rainmaker. Nice immediate evade from our Sheldon's pick player there. The Mole has it. Ooh. Right now, it's again in Static's favor. Yep. They've got the Rainmaker in hand. They've got 30 to 79 points. Sheldon's pick need to kind of make one big play. A minute and a half left. There's time to play with, but you know, it's slowly running out. The Mole really trying to go down a quieter part of the field, but ooh. Nice drip, but he does get taken down eventually. Nice idea to drop through the platform, but got caught out on the way down. Okay, so the bubble blower going out, just kind of covers some space. You're going to try and push forward. Ooh. Caught by a bomb there. That bomb getting taken, well, from Tekarai again. Oh, watch out for the suction bomb. Get on that. Nice. They have the Rainmaker. It's in the hands of Scotso.
Got a minute left on the clock.
It gets a bit more worrying at this point, and there's just so much pressure. Scotso didn't have any support, and Spid gets that KO.
Ooh.
Reach
really making use of height there, but getting back down into the fray.
Nice. Almost got the double splat, but a 1v1 in the end. Epsilon, it's 2-1 in favour of Sheldon's pick now. They need to move forward as far as possible. They need to keep Kitsune safe, and they don't. It's a double KO. Mole is doing such good work with that.
Mole's playing fantastically.
Yeah, he's just making great use of the Stingray.
Oh, 10 seconds on the clock.
5 seconds remaining, unless Sheldon's pick can get this Rainmaker. It does not look feasible. It's 2-1 down, 3-1, and
Nah.
2-0 going over to Team Static.
Oh, and they look really pleased.
Happy with that one. They weren't sure what they wanted to do, but
Backpats
well,
and high fives
do, but, yeah.
all rounds. No, well done. That was really, really well played. And they were working really well as a team. Like, you could tell that they were communicating in their play, constantly letting each other know where they were at and the plan. You know, there was a point where the Mole was going round to the left, and you could just see, even though we couldn't hear him, he was like, right, guys, this is too busy on the left. Let's go round.
Yeah.
And, like, they all diverted to the right really quickly.
Kinda those like dynamic moments of play when you're kind of like in the middle of something and just able to kind of adapt and change up your game plan whenever is really important for games like this. And I think it's one of those things that I mean, these are kind of like, I don't really know how to kind of really name the seeds, but perhaps, you know, the second and third seed here, so it's going to be a close game. And every time Sheldon's pick are just like on those moments of just being able to get past, but just kind of falling at that hurdle that kind of gets them the distance they can get. So
Totally.
There's a lot of stuff that, you know, Sheldon's pick are just so close to doing. They just need to convert those moments.
Absolutely. I think you've hit the nail on the head. Like, that's probably the thing at the moment that seems to be separating the most our teams, because Team Static are just really able and willing to, their play is very malleable, you know, like they switch it up, and like they're going up against really good players. Like Sheldon's pick are fantastic. There is a reason why we saw in tower control, they were really tussling at the beginning for control of that tower, but Sheldon's pick just aren't quite able to be as flexible in the heat of the moment.
And you can see that, not confusion, but that kind of that kind of understanding that, you know, this wasn't going to be as easy as you know, you may have immediately thought it was, and they need to kind of really just, you know, knuckle down and grind out some kind of new strategy that's going to help them, you know, get over that last moment. And then, you know, Team Static, you know, they're 2-0 up, they're sitting pretty. They've got you know, less work to do, but they've still got to convert. They can't just rest here, because Sheldon's pick at this point are going to be, you know, they have nothing to lose now.
Yeah.
Well,
something to lose.
Well, they have a lot of, this is their last resort, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Sure.
I mean, I guess, they can push as hard as they can because of that. So, Clam Blitz on Kelp Dome. This is an interesting one. We've seen this before, and the big difference between this one and other maps is that we do have these kind of like double. So you've got like the central reservation area, and then you've got these kind of like outside ring. So getting to the opponent's shield is going to be very, very difficult because it's a little bit more linear than in other games, or in other maps rather. So exactly how that's going to affect how these players play on Clam Blitz, I don't quite know, because of, you know, seeing these guys play on a variety of other modes, it's hard to kind of like, you know, pick together, you know, all the modes, all the maps, and all the what's the word I'm looking for, all of the combinations they're in.
Sure.
It's going to be interesting to see at least how these teams do.
I'm intrigued, and I believe that they are just about to dive into the match. We are loading up Clam Blitz on Kelp Dome.
This is going to be a good one. See how it goes. Again, as the colour lock is in yellow, is Sheldon's pick. Purple is Team Static. And then you can see the two shields there on the other side. It's a very, very thin, narrow corridor to get into it. It's just so hard. Of course, they've got to get 10 clams together and get that power clam and get the football to the shield.
Exactly.
Control here. It seems like Epsilon maybe trying to go for the high ground. Reach up there for a little bit. 1v1ing Spid and getting the victory there. Ouch. Yep. Gonna go for the Inkarma. Maybe drop down. Ooh, needs to get out of there. Pops the Inkarma.
Ooh, very nice.
Drops in, getting very aggressive.
Yeah, which considering with 7 clams, that's no mean feat.
One down. Good
8-9,
stuff.
and got a super clam.
Power clam in hand, but it's taken down towards the end. Look at this defensive line. It's so hard to get in. And it's a team wipe completely. Static.
Ooh.
You can see Sheldon's pick really pushing hard to get into that, but
Yep.
it's so hard to get through that little last like choke
point.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know, that's why on a map like this, choice of weapon is so important. You want to have something that's got power at short range.
Lunar Blaster on the side of Team Static as well. Going to be definitely showing that. We've got a couple of Splatter Shot pros as well in there. It's a little bit more auto heavy, it feels, on the side of Sheldon's pick.
Stingray laying down some cover fire there, but the Mole has a power clam.
Yeah, he does definitely have it, and wants to make his play on the opponent's shield soon. Just playing it safe, just allowing, like, you know, not overextending, just waiting for that moment.
And critically laying down his own little route of cover fire ink that he can use to see that, like dodging the fray there. He knew that there was an enemy to the right, so he tried to go up and over. Beautiful splat. It's not as easy to fire up from someone.
Yeah.
You definitely have the advantage when you're firing from
double.
above.
Oh wow! And there was not enough pressure from both sides of Team Static to take down Epsilon. Okay, the Blobber coming in. Spid using the baller. Does get a splat onto Scotso, but gets taken back indeed by Kitsune. No points thus far. 21 clams on the side of Sheldon's pick. All 15, I should say. On both sides, 9 now. A lot of splats coming out there. Sheldon's pick being dropped like flies. The Mole, power clam in hand. Here comes the bubble blower. Cover that ground. Counter bubbles. Bubbles!
Bubbles everywhere!
Whiz pop, whiz bang. Feel the bubbles go down. Another retro one for you.
Kitsune almost quite hesitant, not quite sure which way to go, just kind of hanging out, biding their time.
Look at that splash wall there. They aren't getting past that. And then another one. This is silly. Say that. They're in. Power clam down. Sheldon's pick. 40 points down. 2 for 2. Can they get any more points? Reach in control of that corner. Does get taken down eventually, but 40 points on the trot. Double power clam straight in. 1-2.
That's beautiful.
And there we go. We're talking about that. The back and forth, and then the damn breaks. Everything suddenly happens in one moment.
Absolutely. Oh. The Mole there got splatted with a power clam in play.
Kitsune now. They're just holding onto their shield very nicely here. Laying down some covering fire just to keep, maybe just hit whatever he can, just be a nuisance to the opponent.
Yeah, you cannot underestimate the power of being a nuisance in Splatoon 2.
Yeah, there are some real nuisances out there. That height advantage again, playing so nicely in the favor of Reach up here. Goes for the ink armor again, falls down the side, unfortunately, gets up again. We'll start pushing. If you look on the far side as well, you can see Scotso going around the side, having a bit of a one-on-one tussle with... forgotten the name. I just saw it and I just completely forgotten.
Reach has a power clam, and it's just really getting locked in a one-on-one with Cyber.
Yeah, and there's only 25 seconds on the clock now. You can see this is just how Kelp Dome works. It's so defensive and so hard to break.
It's the choke point. By the time that you've splatted the 2 people who are giving you jip, the other 2 have respawned and come back into the choke point.
Yeah. And that side's the only way in, which is the real thing. 8 seconds to go, and it seems like Team Static might be losing this one out, and we'll be going to a game 4. We'll have to see as we hit overtime, because Team Static have 1 power clam on the table. 1 last play to make.
All rests on Spid's shoulders.
Goes in with the bomb, with the baller, gets it. Overtime. It's not gone down yet. There's the power clam. Can they cancel it out? Got 2 splats. And it's going to time out now, and that's the game. Sheldon's pick getting their name on the board. 2-1.
Nice.
We're going to game 4.
2 closed fists of victory there on the end. Nice.
Yeah. Hard fought. Very, very hard fought.
Very hard fought.
It was only literally the 1 break on shield, and it was a double power clam that went in. So man, that is no, don't worry about that. Nope, you know what? It's fine. I pressed the button and then things happened on the laptop and I was a bit worried.
It happens.
Yeah.
But no, that was a really, really great game. There was, we were saying earlier about the power of being a nuisance, and it's true because especially when you've got choke points like that, sometimes the best thing that you can do is almost like spray and pray, because what you do is you, wherever your ink goes, it's going to be creating a route for someone else. So just being able to give ground fire so that your teammates can swoop in and find new routes, it's powerful technique.
Yeah, I mean, especially, that kind of like synergizes very nicely with that kind of map where we do have these very specific like modes of movement, and there's always being, just being a presence there. It kind of chokes your opponent into making some kind of decision, rash or not. It's kind of, time's running out. There's so much going on that I can't find a clean way in.
Yeah.
What something silly can I do to make this happen? And that's where mistakes happen. And I kind of feel that there was a sense of there was that one mistake made by Static where they just got taken down in that one moment, and then Sheldon's pick just broke through. Clam, done, and then it's done. It's over because they get splatted back.
Sure, that double dunk was so powerful.
Yeah. But there you go, and that can be all that needs to happen to be the difference. So game 4 is going to be happening. Splat zones on Walleye Warehouse. Getting a bit old school here.
I know, it's great. Going back
to one of those OG maps that we haven't maybe seen for a little while, I guess. But Splat Zones is always nice and fun. Big rectangular zone in the centre, quite easy to see.
Love it.
Nice, simple kind of like 3-part entrance into the main area. You have these flanks to the sides and just one big space. So we'll see how our teams do here. Sheldon's pick looking for that game 5. And then... well, we'll see how it happens.
Oh, Team Static were doing quite well there, laying down a lot of purple ink, but Sheldon's pick are really putting up a fight.
Right now, it looks like Team Static are going to take control of it early on. 3 splats down. That's a good start. A great start. Really
great start, and they're really pushing forward beyond the point. You can see there that they're almost pushing further towards Sheldon pick's spawn point there.
Yeah.
And this is where Cyber's weapon is really going to make the difference, because they can just kind of hide behind an obstacle, throw bubbles over the top.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that they may not seem like they're too scary, but if you get hit 1, 2, 3, 4, you are gone. You are gone. It's a one shot. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
you press the button once and 4 bubbles come out. If they all land,
exactly.
It's over. But so far, it's pretty good for Static. They are getting rid of their penalty points and starting to make their way down. Reach in the centre by himself. Scott so needs to try and support.
Well, Scott was trying to flank there, but Cyber put up a good defence and scared him back away.
47 points. You can see Kitsune now using the Stingray to push their opponents back. The bubble blower in, lost control, and they get it back. So 43 points of bonus. How much can Sheldon's pick push? So far doing a good job, just kind of holding it down. 15 points. Still more coming out. Lost control, but it's not been completely turned around. Has now.
There we go.
Spid working on those penalty points.
Yeah, and the mole really hanging around by the point, trying not to edge too far away in case he's needed to lay down some defence.
Look at the Stingray. It's got so much control when you throw it out there. Going through walls, it's kind of crazy.
Oh, Kitsune there was just flanked on either side.
That was a team wipe, and that is a big team wipe. With the amount of points left on the board, that could be the play that they needed to take this game home. Team Static regrouping. And another 2 splats down, 5 points left on the board, 3 splat, team wipe, it's over.
Oh.
Team Static.
What an ending.
Emphatic victory for them to take down double team wipe. And it's going to be a 3-1 in the form of Team Static taking that game.
Oh, they look super pleased with themselves. But you know what? Sheldon's pick, they gave up a really good fight. We came to the 4th game. It wasn't a 3-0. Oh, don't look too happy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously when you have a loss, you have to you have to think about it. You have to go back through what happened, what went wrong here and there. You can't win them all. Team Static played very, very well, and they're made up of really good players. Sheldon's pick took them to 4. That's good in itself. Getting a game back when it was such a great game as well. It was such a close game. There were 2 very, very well-matched teams. took it to game 4. Team Static's was able to get the control they needed in that last one.
Absolutely. And you know what? I really loved what I saw just then with Team Static giving a good round of applause there for, like, you know, there's a nice bit of sportsmanship on stage.
Have to have a bit of sportsmanship when it comes
to
to
absolutely. Absolutely. So, no, they fought really, really well, and I'm glad that we got to see a Stage 4 match.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's one of the things we always want to see. We don't like seeing 3-0 sweeps. So, Sheldon's pick will leave the tournament. It is only, for this kind of top 4, it is a single elimination. So, Team Static will be awaiting the winners of the next semi-final in the grand finals. But until then, we'll say goodbye to Sheldon's pick. Did very good. They do win some small prizes there. And some Nintendo goodie bags. We love a good Nintendo goodie bag.
We do love a
here.
good Nintendo goodie bag.
They're lovely. They're you know, I think Hessian bags, are they? What are they called? And then, you know, they're really, really good for, like, you know, I have a couple of those. Take them down the old shop, you know, shopping bags. Solid.
Fancy.
Solid, you know. Oh, fancy. I like a good Nintendo branded shopping bag, if you say so myself. Yeah, but full of nice little prizes for getting this far and obviously for competing as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Team Static still in it to earn their place in that National UK Championships
Exactly.
happening later in November. They are one step closer.